Listen, it's no secret this time of the year is not a very good time for movies. A lot of companies dump their lesser movies into like the January, February, kind of Marchy time slots, and I've had to endure some piles of shit in the last couple of months. Skull the Mask, Death Trip, Dark Figures, Wrong Turn, Monster Hunter, just to name a few. So I just wanted to say to Ivan Kavanagh, the director of Son, I just wanted to say thank you. Hey guys, welcome to Happywax TV, and yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to Ivan Kavanagh. Not that he'll ever see this review, but he is the writer and director of this movie, simply called Son. Comes out March 5th. It was like breathing in a breath of fresh air. You know, after all winter, you're held up in your house. You know, you got to go through this, lockdown bullshit, and it's like the first time you step outside and with nice spring weather and you take that first breath in and just everything seems right in the world. That was kind of like this movie for the most part. Son. It is fantastic. It really is. It is smartly written. I mean, the pace, there is not a wasted scene in this movie. Like a lot of times now I've gotten to the point where like I just want to pick things out in the movie, like all the filler or the stuff that doesn't really need to be in there. And for the most part, like every scene of this movie means something. Like it's fantastic. And I love this movie. You guys are going to hate me. I'm not really going to get into it too much because I'll be honest, I went into this movie knowing nothing about, I hadn't even seen the trailer for it, and I watched it, and it was fantastic, but I knew nothing about it going in, and I think it just heightened it that much. It's got Emile Hirsch in it. I'm telling you, this guy is very quickly becoming one of my favorite actors. He was in Freaks. He was in the Quentin Tarantino movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, he's fantastic, man. I love this guy. I love the way he acts. He honestly, does he not look like Jack Black's fucking twin brother? Like, but he is great in this movie. And then Andi Matichak, who I'd never seen before. I actually did some research on her after the movie was over because I was so impressed with her performance. And man, I'm expecting big things from her. She was actually in the latest Halloween movie. So I kind of recognized her face in this movie, but I was like, where is she from? And then when I looked her up, I knew who she was. But yeah, she was great. I mean, she kind of commanded the screen in this story. It was fantastic. She really, I don't know, just made it that much more intense. And then Luke David Blum is the little boy. He plays Laura's son, who is played by Andi Matichak. But and basically, those are the three main stars. And I don't want to get into it too much because, again, the more you know is probably not good going into this movie because it's so smartly written that you're guessing, what's going to happen, and it's just everything that you think is the truth in this movie may not be the truth. Like very, very quickly, I'll read you the synopsis. When a young boy contracts a mysterious illness, his mother must decide how far she will go to protect him from terrifying forces in her past. Okay, well, I don't want to give too much away, but basically, and I think they show this in the trailer anyways, she was part of a cult, and she escapes this cult, but while she's in it, she becomes pregnant, and they do a lot of flashback scenes with the process and how it kind of came to be and stuff like that. So she's pregnant when she escapes the cult, and then she has her son, right? And then, I don't know if they put her into witness protection. I'm not sure. They didn't really give a lot of background on that. But when he gets sick and the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with him, and again, I don't want to give spoilers, but it's in the trailer. Like, he gets this bloodlust, okay? So the entire time I'm thinking, like, is this kid turning into a vampire? Or, like, you know what I mean? Because he gets sick and he gets these sores all over his body. But then when he gets blood given to him, he goes back to normal again. It's crazy. But the thing is she keeps thinking that she sees these cult members who she believes is coming after her and her son because he's starting to transform. But that's where the guessing game starts, right? Because we don't know, and it's done in such a brilliant way where we don't know if the cult members that she's seeing are just in her head because of the traumatic experience. Like, we don't even know if there really was a cult, because there's a scene with the doctor who treated her when she came out of it, and he tells Emil Hirsch, who plays the officer in this movie, that it's all in her head. So it's a big guessing game as to whether or not there's a cult or if she's just going crazy. And yeah, and it's good, man. Like, there's not really any jump scares in this movie, but there's a general sense of just gloom and depression and creepiness about this entire movie. And it's a very physical movie too for Luke Blum, the little boy in this movie, because when he gets sick and he kind of transforms a little bit into this, whatever, you'll see, you know what I mean? But he plays like a very physical role in this movie, and it was great. You know, and there's enough gore in this movie to keep the gore hounds happy. There's 2 or 3 scenes that are pretty bloody, but it's just smartly written, and it's really well acted, you know. And like I said, there's not really any scenes in this movie that are just fluff or just wasted. It moves along at a great pace, and it keeps you guessing. And, you know, even the ending was fantastic. I at the very end of this movie, I was thinking to myself, I'm usually pretty good at guessing endings of flicks, and it comes down to it. You can guess one of 2 ways as to what's going to happen. And I guessed, and I stuck to it, and I was wrong. So it even got me at the end. So this, yeah, man, I highly recommend this movie. To give it a rating, I'd probably give it like a really strong 7.5. I really did enjoy this flick, and when the Blu-ray copy comes out, it will definitely be going in my collection. I don't really want to get in to too much more than that, because if I start giving spoilers, it's just going to ruin it for you. Again, I know I play the trailer down below, but there's no sound, and you know, it goes by pretty quick. But listen, do yourself a favor. When this movie comes out, give it a watch, and then come back here and let me know what you thought about it. I thought this movie was fantastic, and it was refreshing to see, especially from all the fucking gunk that I've had to wade through the last couple of months. It was nice to see this movie done properly, and it's great. So it's called Son, comes out March 5th. Guys, when you see it, come back here and let me know what you thought. And until next time, stay scared.